Musculoskeletal problems, however minor, can be extremely painful, none more so than those you suffer in your back. When you're in pain, it's natural for you to assume the worst. However, very few back injuries need surgery. Some medical speak can add to the emotional stress of the situation. Degeneration is a term they sometimes use when talking about the solid bony blocks of the spine. But degeneration is neither structural damage nor arthritis. It's simply a product of us aging, just as we can each look forward to grey hair and wrinkles at some time in our later life. Be reassured, serious or permanent damage is very rare, and although painful, you will return to your basic equilibrium soon, be it over a few days or weeks. Traditionally, patients with back pain have been confined to bed, but the latest research shows that this is possibly the worst treatment for a speedy recovery. Being immobile means you're going to get stiff, your muscles will become weaker, your bones will get weaker, you lose general fitness, you get bored and depressed. The pain feels worse as it's more difficult to change position, and worst of all, it becomes harder and harder to get going again.
The folklore around backs, I think, is a cultural thing, and that's what we learn from newspapers, our parents, our general educational background. And I think I can say with certainty that 20 years ago doctors got it wrong. 20 years ago, if you had a bad back, it was all bad back, rest up, don't do this, don't do that. We know from clinical studies and clinical trials that rest is positively harmful for backs. And certainly in the last 10 to 15 years, the whole emphasis with acute back pain is on the part of the doctor to, one, exclude serious disorders, and two, encourage and enable and empower the patient to get back to early function, because that way they make a faster recovery, they're less likely to be troubled in the future, and their quality of life is improved.
There is this great myth that if you have a back problem, therefore you must stop doing everything, which is totally wrong. The best idea is to keep moving and keep working at it, not stop. Once you stop, you're in big trouble.
I still hear people say, oh, I've hurt my back, I'm going to lie down for 3 days or a week, when it's the worst thing you can do. So you have to teach them about the total holistic care of their body, about learning about fitness, learning about exercise, learning about keeping their abdomen and their back muscles strong, and also if they do have any twinges, to get out to the swimming pool to actually get it moving.
The temptation when you have a bad back is to take to your bed and lie down and take painkillers, medication, and do nothing. I've learnt now that that's probably the worst thing you can do.
After my injury, I gradually stopped doing everything really, just gradually stopped playing tennis, stopped running, stopped exercising, until I got to the point where I was pretty much doing nothing, which I'm sure made my injury a lot worse.
I think the thing I would have done differently is have taken a more positive approach from the start instead of the negative approach, whereby you sort of think, well, is it going to get worse if I do things, rather than getting on and doing them.
There's no danger of continuing to move. As the pain begins to go away, then you should increase your movement. If you stop, then what happens is you start to lose muscle power, and a thing that we call core stability, which is lack of strength in the stomach and low back muscles, and then the problem can then become worse, and the object is to keep people moving.
Getting moving again as soon as possible will help your body begin to make the necessary repairs by itself. People who experience back pain are more likely to have it return at some point in their lives. This makes it all the more important to keep active at all times. Exercising for prevention need not be of a strenuous nature. Swimming, cycling, brisk walking, all will help maintain your defence against musculoskeletal weakness while keeping you fitter and in better general health. As well as being the central bone structure in your body, the spine also encloses and protects the central nervous system. So it's hardly surprising that should something irritate your spine, it has the potential to lead on to extra pressure being brought to bear on other organs and parts of the body.